Hello everyone, myself Himabindu Sri, Chemistry Faculty in Ramchandra College of Engineering, Eluru. In the previous videos, we will discuss about the introduction to the polymer chemistry, classification of polymers and properties of the polymers. In this video, we will discuss about the polymerization techniques. In addition polymerization, there are four techniques present. First one is bulk polymerization, second one solution polymerization, third one suspension polymerization, and fourth one is emulsion polymerization. In condensation polymerization, two techniques are present. First one, melt poly condensation. Second one, solution poly condensation. According to JNTUK syllabus, we are having only two techniques. Those are suspension polymerization and emulsion polymerization. Let us discuss one by one. Coming to the bulk polymerization. The bulk polymerization is a method which is used for the polymerization of liquid state monomers. It is usually adapted to produce polystyrene, polyvinyl chloride, etc. Coming to the second one, that is solution polymerization. The disadvantages which are apparent from the bulk polymerization are eliminated in solution polymerization. Here, the monomer along with initiator are dissolved in solvent and the formed polymer stays dissolved. The mixture is kept at polymerization temperature and constantly agitated. Depending on concentration of monomer, the viscosity of the solution does not increases. And coming to the suspension polymerization, which is present in our syllabus. In suspension polymerization, the liquid or dissolved monomer suspended in a liquid phase, for example water. Here we are using some initiators. The initiator are monomer soluble, for example dibenzoyl peroxide. Thus, polymer is produced in heterogeneous medium. The size of the monomer droplet is between 50 to 200 micrometers in diameter. The dispersion is maintained by continuous agitation and the droplets are prevented to merge by adding some quantity of stabilizers. The stabilizers examples are gelatin, cellulose, magnesium silicate, aluminum hydroxide, etc. are the some of the examples of stabilizers. As it concerns with droplets, each droplet is a tiny bulk reactor. The polymerization takes place inside the droplet and the product formed being insoluble in water. The product separated out in the form of spherical pearls or beads of polymer. Hence, this technique is also known as pearl polymerization or granular polymerization or bead polymerization. In suspension polymerization, the products obtained are small uniform spares. They can be used directly for small applications as a precursors of ion exchange resins. Otherwise, they can be extruded and chopped to form larger, easily molded pellets. They can be dissolved in suitable medium for use as adhesives and coatings. This technique is used to produce polyvinyl chloride, polyvinyl acetate, polystyrene, etc. This is the diagram for the suspension polymerization. In the phase 1, we are taking organic phase and aqueous phase. It is a heterogeneous mixture. And in the second diagram, we observed the monomer droplet which are agitated. In the final diagram, we observed the formation of the polymers like pearls or beads. Coming to the advantages of this type of polymerization. The process is completely cheap as it involves only water instead of solvents. The viscosity increases is negligible. Agitation and temperature control is very easy and the product isolation is easy since the product is insoluble in water. Coming to the disadvantages. This method can be adopted only for the water insoluble monomers and it is difficult to control polymer size. The polymer purity is low due to the presence of suspending agents and suspension polymerization reaction is highly agitation sensitive. Large volume of reaction is taken up by water and the method cannot be used for the tachylopolymers such as elastomers. So, because of tendency of agglomeration of polymer particles. Coming to the emulsion polymerization. In emulsion polymerization, this technique is used for the production of large number of commercial plastics and elastomers. The system consists of a water-insoluble monomer, dispersion medium, and emulsifying agents or surfactants, for example soaps and detergents, and a water-soluble initiator, examples potassium persulfate and H2O2, etc. The monomer is dispersed in aqueous phase not as a discrete droplets but as a uniform emulsion. The size of monomer droplet is around 0.5 to 10 micrometers in diameter, depending upon the polymerization temperature and rate of agitation. In emulsion polymerization, the emulsion of monomer in water is stabilized by a surfactant. A surfactant has a hydrophilic and hydrophobic end in its structure. When it is put into a water, the surfactant molecules gather together into aggregates called micelles. The hydrocarbon tail orient inwards and the heads orient outward into the water. The monomer molecules diffuse from monomer droplets to water and form water to the hydrocarbon center of micelles. This is the diagram for the emulsion polymerization. So the monomer droplets which are present in the orange color phase, and here we are having hydrophobic and hydrophilic ends. Finally it forms the micelles. In the center of the micelles polymer is present. This is also another diagram for the emulsion polymerization. The dark blue color ones are the surfactant molecules and red color ones are the initiator molecules. Here the violet color or blue color are the micelles. In the center of the micelles we are observing the polymers. In emulsion polymerizations, here we are using waters, monomer and surfactants. Emulsion polymerization applications are synthetic rubber, styrene, butadiene, polybutadiene, polychloroprene. In plastics also, the emulsion polymerization can be used. For example, for the preparation of the PVC, polystyrene, etc. Dispersions also here it is used polyvinyl acetate, copolymers, etc. And coming to the advantages of the emulsion polymerization. The products which are formed in the emulsion polymerization are having the high molecular weight and fast polymerization rates, and the products allow removal of heat from the system. The viscosity remains close to that of water and is not dependent on the molecular weight. The final product can be used as such, does not need to be altered or processed. Coming to the disadvantages of the emulsion polymerization. The surfactants are difficult to remove, and second one is for dry polymers water removal is an energy intensive process. Coming to the third disadvantage, designed to operate at high conversion of monomer to polymer. This can result in significant chain transfer to polymer. Coming to the final disadvantage, it cannot be used for the condensation polymerization, ionic or Ziegler-Natta polymerization. So this is about the suspension polymerization and emulsion polymerization. In the next part, the remaining will be continued. Thanks for watching.